In this video, I made every single margarita recipe that you need to know. We made super simple margaritas, we made super complex margaritas, and we even made a margarita that will never go bad. But all right, enough talking, let's get right into it. So the first margarita we're gonna make is using a margarita mix. I went out and bought the most expensive margarita mix I could find that is certified organic. We're gonna do 1.5 ounces of our tequila, ice, and then just pour it out. And there you have a super simple margarita. Took 2 steps. Super easy, right? Oh no. Oh no. Please take this as a lesson that no matter how good the margarita mix seems, it's not worth your money, your time, and it's gross. Oh my God. Let's make a real classic margarita. We're gonna do 1.5 ounces of a great additive-free tequila. We're gonna do 3/4 ounce of an orange liqueur. I like to use Cointreau. 1/2 ounce of simple syrup, which is just sugar and water, which you can make super easy at home. Don't buy simple syrup either. I don't know what you're doing. 2 ingredients, water and sugar. You have that in your house. And 1 ounce of freshly squeezed lime juice. Fill up with ice and shake. And then we're gonna grab a salted glass. Even though it's a little cheesy, I love my cactus glasses. And pour that right in there. And there you have a classic margarita. So simple. You can whip this up real quick, super easy, absolutely delightful. I don't need to sell you on margaritas, man. They're great. The Tommy's Margarita is a margarita that a lot of you probably think of when you think of a margarita. The big difference between this and a regular margarita starts with the use of reposado tequila. So we're gonna use 2 ounces of a great reposado tequila. I'm using Mijenta, 1 ounce of freshly squeezed lime juice, and 1/2 ounce of agave syrup. And that's the big difference between this and a regular margarita. A lot of you think that agave syrup was always used in margaritas, but that's not true. Tommy's Margarita was created by Julio Bermejo in San Francisco many, many years ago, and now it's a mainstay for a reason. It's delightful. Shake it up, lock it up. Grab our salted glass and pour it out. And there you have a Tommy's Margarita. I love how the reposado and the agave syrup really play. It creates more complexity and depth in a regular margarita. You should definitely make yourself one. Let's make a simple spicy margarita. Get a nice thick jalapeno slice, grab our shaker, jalapeno slice in there, muddle that up. 1 ounce of freshly squeezed lime juice that I did ahead of time, 2.5 ounces of agave syrup, 2 ounces of a great Blanco tequila, 1/2 ounce of Cointreau, ice, and then we're gonna add ice to our glass. We're gonna actually double strain this cocktail because we don't want the jalapeno seeds jalapen our business. I'm sorry, please watch the rest of the video. And then we're gonna garnish with our other jalapeno slice. And there we have a simple spicy margarita. So good, so tasty. Okay, but what if you're not boring and you want to spice up your spicy margarita? Let's make an avocado jalapeno margarita. Grab our shaker, 1 thick girthy slice of jalapeno, and then we're gonna grab some fresh avocado and cut that open. Be careful, knives are sharp. And then we're just gonna put that right into our shaker. Like 1 slice. And then we're actually gonna do a couple of cilantro leaves. It's kind of like we're making a guacamole in cocktail form. And if that doesn't sound good to you, get off my channel. That sounds delicious. And then we're gonna muddle this up. Yeah, it's like we're literally making guacamole. We're gonna do 1/2 ounce of an orange liqueur, like Cointreau. Gonna do 1 ounce of freshly squeezed lime juice, 1/2 ounce of agave syrup, and 2 ounces of a lightly aged reposado tequila. I'm gonna use Tequila Ocho just to switch it up a bit. I love Tequila Ocho. And then last but not least, a pinch of salt. Told you we're making a guacamole. And you know what? Might as well do a crack of fresh black pepper in there too. Promise this is gonna be delightful. And we're gonna add our ice. Grab our salted glass, and we're going to double strain this out over fresh ice. That is an awesome color. I love that. I have some spicy chipotle salt ready, and my dumbass forgot to use it, so we're just gonna put a little bit of chipotle salt over the top. And there we have the jalapeno avocado margarita. Holy shit. That's good. That's so good. Oh my God. I love that. The avocado adds this like nice rich creaminess. Jalapeno spicy. Salt accentuates the flavor. Pepper accentuates the flavor. Tequila's present. It's bomb. Super delightful. Oh my God. I love this. And while we're still on this spicy margarita kick, let's make one of my original recipes, the Jackie Tequila. This cocktail is on my menu at my bar and restaurant, and it has been for the last 4 years, and it's one of our best sellers. So we're gonna do 1 ounce of freshly squeezed lime juice. We're gonna do 1 ounce of fresh mango puree. I make ours fresh every single week. And this is the key part to the cocktail. We're gonna do 3/4 ounce of a habanero-infused agave. To make this, you just chop up some habaneros, let it sit in agave syrup for about 15-20 minutes. You can leave it overnight if you really want to for more spice, and then strain out the habaneros. Then gonna do 1.5 ounces of a great tequila, a 1/2 ounce of Cointreau, add some ice, and we're off. And then we're just gonna dirty dump the ice right in there. It's a glass that is rimmed with our spicy chipotle salt. How do you make it? Kosher salt, paprika, crushed chipotle peppers. Lime wheel as a garnish, and there you have the Jackie Tequila. There's just something about mangoes and habaneros that just go so well together. Not overly spicy, super tropical, great tequila flavor. Love the lime. Mango is super fresh. I love it. I love it so much. All right, and sticking with the tropical theme, let's make a banana margarita, one of my personal favorite variations on a margarita. We're gonna do 1 ounce of a banana liqueur. I'm using Gaffard's Banana de Brazil. It's a very high quality banana liqueur, and it's going to really make this cocktail shine. We're then gonna do 1.5 ounces of an either añejo or reposado tequila, depending on how aged the reposado is. I like Tres Agaves as añejo. We really want that strong aged flavor here. So we're gonna do 1.5 ounces of an añejo tequila. We're gonna do 1 ounce of freshly squeezed lime juice, and then 1/4 ounce of agave syrup. Just a little sweetness. All right, once that's shaken up, we're going to actually rim our glass with brown sugar or demerara sugar. I know they're not the same thing, but whatever you have will work. We're gonna do some sugar in the raw here. And then we're going to pour that right out. Normally, as a garnish, I would have grabbed a slice of banana, covered it in brown sugar, and caramelized it. I don't have that, so we're gonna garnish with some plantain chips, because then I'll have a little snacky poo after I drink this. And there you have a banana margarita. So refreshing, tropical, delightful, and the banana's not overpowering at all. Really tasty. Plantain chips, also really tasty. Let's make a breakfast margarita, because who doesn't wake up and want a margarita for breakfast? I know I do. 1.5 ounces of a great Blanco tequila, 3/4 ounce of Cointreau, 1 ounce of freshly squeezed lime juice, 1/4 ounce of agave, and then this is where it gets fun. We're gonna take orange marmalade and do 2 teaspoons, or like 4 bar spoons, right into our shaker. I don't have any teaspoons, so we're gonna go with some bar spoons. Just do 3 bar spoons. I got a lot. Shake. And this one, we're not going to rim the glass. We're going to actually do a large cube, and then we're going to double strain this out. And last but not least, 1 orange slice. And there you have the breakfast margarita. Hello. What a way to wake up. Wow, that's delightful. I really like that. Orange marmalade, amazing, amazing ingredient. Ooh. Let's switch it up from fruitier margaritas to maybe some more deeper and complex ones. Let's make a Rosalita. The Rosalita is a very simple margarita riff. This one's a little bit similar to a Tommy's margarita, but with a little bit of a twist. We're gonna do 2 ounces of a great reposado tequila. I'm gonna use Suerte, 1/4 ounce of agave syrup, 3/4 ounce of freshly squeezed lime juice, and here's the kicker. We're gonna do a 1/2 ounce of Amaro Montenegro, which is a bitter liqueur from Italy, which is going to give this cocktail all sorts of fun flavors. And we're gonna grab our salted blow ball and pour the cocktail right out. And there we have the Rosalita. That Amaro Montenegro really really is doing a lot of heavy lifting. It's a great margarita, just more complex. It's outstanding. All right, let's keep this fun, complex train going with the Jaggerita. I know, most of you heard Jaeger and you probably just threw up in your mouths. I used to be like you too. And then I started realizing how versatile and awesome Jaeger can be when it's used in a properly balanced cocktail and not just shot all the time. So yeah, trust me on this one, I promise. It'll be good. So we're gonna do 1.5 ounces of Jaeger. Yes, 1.5 ounces of Jaeger. 3/4 ounce of Cointreau. 3/4 ounce of simple syrup. And 1 ounce of lime juice. Grab our low ball, grab 1 large cube, and double strain this out. And then last but not least, we're gonna grab the lime wheel and place it over the top. And there you have the Jaggerita. Whoa. That is, wow. Jaeger, man, I'm telling you, give it a shot. I think this is gonna blow your mind. It's delightful. It's nice, complex, bitter, herbal, delightful, and then you get that lime really brightening it up, and it's so tasty. And it just goes to show you how incredible the margarita is as a base cocktail. So good. I know we said we were gonna be done with spicy margaritas. Well, I lied. So we're going to make a smoky chili margarita. So we're gonna do 1 ounce of Mezcal. I'm using Del Maguey's Vita. This is gonna give us that nice smoky element that we're looking for. And then we're gonna do a nice minerally tequila. We're gonna use Volan's Blanco. And now for our spicy element, we're gonna use a 1/2 ounce of Ancho Reyes chili liqueur, which is a nice spicy liqueur from Mexico. We're gonna do 1 ounce of lime juice and just 1/4 ounce of agave, or 1/2 ounce. Let's do 1/2 ounce of agave. And then you know what goes with a little bit of spice in tequila and mezcal? Pineapple. So we're gonna add actually 3/4 ounce of pineapple to this as well. And shake. And this one we're not gonna serve over ice. We're just gonna do it in a coupe with our chipotle salt rim, and we're gonna double strain this out. And then for funsies, we're gonna garnish with a dehydrated lime. And there we have our smoky chili margarita. Wow, that is so stupidly good. The pineapple and the Ancho Reyes gives you that nice sweet and spicy 1-2 punch. Lime is there for that nice tartness. The tequila and mezcal play beautifully together, and I love them. Ooh. Let's make our hibiscus margarita. I love playing with tea in cocktails, and hibiscus and tequila go super well together as a flavor combo. So what we're gonna do first is make some hibiscus tea. Grab our kettle and heat up this water. And then normally I would like to make this with loose leaf tea, but I don't have any at the moment. This is a hibiscus rosehip tea. So we're just gonna do a couple of tea bags in here and make this tea. All right, and then once we have that, we're gonna put it into another container and we're gonna make a syrup out of it. This was a bad idea for the cup. That was dumb. Good job, Lou. And then equal parts of our tea with sugar. And then we're just gonna wanna dissolve that sugar. So we gotta remember that this is a syrup. So what we're going to do is 3/4 of our hibiscus syrup. We're gonna do 3/4 ounce of lime juice. I also love the flavor combination of pomegranate and hibiscus, and I think this color is gonna complement it well by adding another fun layer of flavor. So we're gonna do 1/2 ounce of pomegranate juice. We're gonna do 1.5 ounces of a great tequila and 1/2 ounce of Cointreau. Ice and shake. And then this is another one that we're gonna serve without ice in a chilled coupe. Wow, check out that color. And 1 lime wheel over the top. And then we have our hibiscus margarita. That is very tasty. Very beautiful, very tasty. Nice hibiscus flavor, nice pomegranate flavor. Amazing. That's tasty. I might reduce the amount of lime in it, but that is, woo, lovely. All right, let's make a frozen margarita. But we're not just gonna make like a boring frozen margarita. We're gonna make a frozen sherry margarita. Sherry is one of those ingredients that bartenders love, and I'm not the biggest fan of. But let's see how it works in this margarita. So this recipe calls for Amontillado sherry. I don't have any. I'm gonna use Manzanilla. But shh, you use Amontillado and just pretend like you didn't see this. We're gonna do 1 ounce of our sherry. We're gonna do 2 ounces of a great Reposado tequila. We're gonna do 1 ounce of lime juice. And then 3/4 ounce of agave syrup. And originally this cocktail calls for saline solution, which is just salt water. We're just gonna do a pinch of salt right into our shaker. It's gonna just accentuate the sherry flavor. Going to add ice. Gonna grab our tulip glass, our lime, our straw. Whoa. Whoa, interesting. I actually think this works super well. The Reposado tequila has some minerality to it. The sherry obviously is a little bit more on that kind of savory side. Pinch of salt kind of wraps it all together. I can't help thinking that there's something missing in this recipe, but it's still very tasty and it's a good use of sherry, which is really difficult for me because I'm not the biggest fan of it. But I like it. It's good stuff. And now let's make a detox margarita. And what is that? Well, first we're going to have to make some juice. So first we're gonna grab a carrot and we're gonna just peel it and then we're going to juice it. And then we're going to add some celery to our juice. And lastly, just a little bit of ginger. So for reference, I did 1 whole carrot, 2 celery sticks, and 1 like half piece of ginger. Not too much, I don't want it to be too spicy. And actually, let's make this one in a blender. It reminds me more of a smoothie anyway. So we're gonna grab our blender. So we'll do 2 ounces of our carrot, celery, ginger juice. We're gonna do 1.5 ounces of a Great Blanco tequila. I'm using Cimarron. A 1/2 ounce of Cointreau. 1 full ounce of lime juice. 3/4 ounce of agave. Let's blend it up. And then we're gonna grab our low ball that's rimmed with salt, our awesome smoothie cocktail. Then lastly, a little lime wheel. And there we have our detox margarita. So good. Earthy, a little spicy from the ginger. Tequila plays well, the lime is beautiful. Celery is, I don't know what celery tastes like, but it's good in the drink as well. And it's really fun. And there you have it. Delightful. So what if you could make a margarita that in theory would never go bad? Well, let's make a clarified mango margarita. So this one we're actually not gonna build in a shaker, we're gonna build it in a mixing glass, and you'll see why in a minute. So let's break out the big guns. We're gonna be using Don Fulano Reposado, which is an amazing Reposado, though a little bit on the higher end side of things, but I love it. I think it'll be great, and especially for the last margarita of this video, I think it's worth it. I'm doing 2 ounces of this. We're also going to do 1 ounce of mango. I love the flavor combination of mangoes and tequila. Just for a little bit of sweetness, we're gonna do a 1/2 ounce of agave syrup. Then we're gonna do 1 whole ounce of lime juice. This is very important. And then similar to my recipe for the Jaggerita tequila, I think habaneros and mangoes go super well together, but we're not gonna make this spicy. We're just gonna use a habanero tincture, like a habanero bitters. This is just gonna accentuate the flavors of mango in it. It's not really gonna be spicy at all. We're also gonna do a 1/2 ounce of Cointreau in here. And this is where the magic happens. We're gonna grab another mixing glass and we're going to do 1 whole ounce of whole milk. Yes, whole milk. This is what's going to be key to clarifying this margarita. So what we're going to do is pour a whole ounce of milk in there. We're gonna grab our mango margarita in here and we're gonna pour it into this. As soon as the lime starts to come in contact with the milk will start to curdle and it's going to basically trap all of the colorful parts of this and also the stuff that will make this go bad in the fat. And then we're gonna strain it out. All right, so you're gonna pour that in there and just let it sit for a little bit and let it curdle. I know, it sounds kind of gross and weird, but it's a really fun thing to do. And I even think Ben Franklin used to do milk clarifying things. So yeah, it's kind of cool. It's basically, you're gonna just let it sit and filter it out. I actually don't know if the whole Ben Franklin thing is true, but a lot of bartenders say it, so whatever. All right, and then once that's kind of curdled, you can kind of see the separation start to happen. What we're going to do now is take our other mixing glass, grab a funnel, a coffee filter, place your coffee filter in there, and then you're just going to pour this through the coffee filter and it'll slowly start to strain out all of the color and the stuff that the milk trapped. It's gonna take a while, so just let it chill for a bit, you know, like 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes. I don't know how long it's gonna take. It'll take a while, and then we will circle back.
2,000 years later.
All right, and then after about 1 hour of straining through a coffee filter, you're left with this, which you could filter it out again, but this is still very clarified. And in theory, you could make an entire bottle of this, batch it, and it'll never go bad. And then instead of shaking, we're just gonna add some ice, and we're gonna stir this down to dilute it a little bit. And then we're gonna grab our low ball, a nice clear cube, and then we're just gonna strain this out over our large clear cube. And then lastly, since we have our clear cube, we'll do a dehydrated lime. And there we have our clarified mango margarita. Before I taste this, just look at the difference in color between this and what it was before we strained it out. Like, this is almost no color. It's a little cloudy. We could probably have filtered out one more time, but I wanted to finish this video. All right, let's give it a sip. Wow. Unmistakably a mango margarita, hint of that habanero, but it just really blows my mind. That's nuts. That's delightful. Cheers to that. I hope this video gave you a lot of really cool ideas into how you can transform a very basic margarita. There's so many ways that you can take it, but what's unmistakable is that the margarita is one of the most beloved cocktails ever. And if you want to know what tequilas I actually recommend for margaritas, I highly recommend you check out this video right over here next.